Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. It's Jewel and Auret here.
Hello.
And we just wanted to go live and talk about something that actually happened to us last week. A friend reached out to us and wanted to know what we were doing online and how to get started with that. And there was, we met up with her and there was a lot in terms of mindset blocks and like not feeling ready and not feeling like she could go on and do this kind of thing on her own. She's still working a 9-to-5 job and wanted to know how to make that switch, or not even switch, but just how to get started even doing something online. So we thought that would be a great topic of discussion today.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a backstory of things. Ever since we moved into this place and became roomies here, the energy shift has changed all around. Mm-hmm. And I guess people are feeling that vibe and they're attracted to it because we've been getting messages, like private messages from people asking like real questions, like how can they change their life? Like how can they make more money? How can they be happy? How can they make a difference? And it's really crazy because we were just kind of just putting out the vibe that, we had been enjoying the place. And a lot of people seem to be attracted to it right now because we've been getting some messages from people here locally. And we met up with one of them last week because they were asking, like, how do they get started? They're unhappy with their 9-to-5, which is the story for a lot of people, pretty much 90% of the people.
I remember what that's like too. Like it's really hard. It's hard when you are doing something on a daily basis. You're going to a job that you dread waking up. Like you feel like you're staying stagnant. And you don't feel like you're growing and not being fulfilled, and you can do more. And I know what that feels like. So our heart goes out to those people who reach out to us, and we just want to meet up with them and try to help them as much as we can, because it's a struggle, and it's something that you're not really going. You can't have all of the information up front first, like meaning you can't know exactly everything up front before you start an online business, or before you start doing something you love, or before you make this change from the way things are now to where you want them to be. You're not going to have all that information up front. And for someone like me who like overthinks things and likes to have things planned and everything, it's hard because it's like, you want to make sure it's basically a fear of failure that's holding you back. And you want to make sure that, you're going to be okay still if you do make a change, because you're stuck in this comfort zone and you're going to rock the boat, right? If you do something different.
Just before I tell a little bit of the story of how it went, let us know that you guys can hear us properly, because I haven't checked it here. And let us know where you are watching from, because I'm always interested to know who's watching and from where. So during the dinner that we had with this person, they had been watching us for a couple of years, I guess, because they were, citing different things and milestones that we had done. And it's cool to know that, people are watching you from afar, and, they do know what you're doing, but they're not necessarily commenting. So I commend her for actually reaching out to us and asking for help. And, she's in this 9-to-5 job that she hates, and she just flat out said, like, how do you get started? How? It's like, it is very difficult when you are in the bubble of things in the 9-to-5, and you can't see, like, a lot of people find it very difficult to understand the kind of life that we lead of freedom. Like, we wake up whenever we want. Obviously we have duties, like we have to do like client work and stuff like that in the YouTube channel, but we pretty much wake up whenever we want. Right now it's like 10 something, and we've just kind of leisurely got up, and I had some pancakes that I made, and we're gonna go do a personal training session after this video. And
That's
then,
why we're in workout clothes,
yeah, that's
by
why
the
we
way.
look like this. And then after, we're gonna go film a video for a client, and then after, we're gonna go on the computer, and basically we can choose whatever we want. And that kind of life is hard for people to even understand when you are in the 9 to 5. And I totally get it. When I was in it, I only saw that, and I questioned it a lot. So when I was in the 9 to 5, I was like, how am I going to do this for the next 50 years? How is this going to happen? How am I going to live if I hate this every day? Like, I couldn't understand how I'm supposed to go on. So she was basically like, how do I get started? Because she wants to do something different, but she doesn't know what. And that happens to a lot of people when you have zero experience in whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, so you're either going to be in one of two places. You want to do something bit different, but you don't know what, or you have something that you really enjoy doing. You're passionate about it, but you're just scared. You're just scared to get started. So to speak to both of those places, if you're in a place where you just want some change, you don't know what it is, the only way to figure that out is by trying many different things. That's the only way. That's something that was kind of the path that that's how we got started, because Jewel, I had no sense of going into business at all, but I'm so glad I did, obviously. Jewel is the one who really wanted to become an entrepreneur. She didn't know what kind of business she wanted to start, she just wanted to do something. And we tried so many different things. Like, we were in different network marketing companies. We went to network meetings to find out what other entrepreneurs were doing. Did web design, and the YouTube channel is the main thing that's been consistent throughout this whole thing. But you have to try different things. And I think the best way to get introduced to those many different things at once and to see what you're gravitating towards is in your area. See if you can find local meetups or networking groups that you'll be hanging around other entrepreneurs. There's online meetups and stuff too. So you could, if there's nothing really in your area, there should be no excuses. There is a wealth of information online. And, I think we even at one point just Googled how to make money online. And then we found all these blog posts with a list of different things. And you just got to dive in and try, pick a few of them and try them and see what you like. We started blogging at one point, and we found out it's not really for us. It's not something that we found that we enjoyed on a daily basis. And blogging is something just like video, just like having a YouTube channel, that you need to put effort into on an ongoing basis. So it's okay. We didn't like it. You can stop it. If you don't like something, you can stop it. You don't have to continue doing it.
That's the cool thing about this day and age, is that you can literally do anything you want. And there's a quote that someone said, I can't remember who, because I'm constantly digesting information from all different areas, from YouTube, from Audible, from reading, from people's posts and stuff. I'm constantly filling my brain and my knowledge with this kind of thing. And it's in the information right now, in the age of information, which is now, right? There's so much knowledge everywhere. So in the age of information right now, ignorance is a choice. That's what this person posted. And I can't remember who posted it. And I strongly agree with it. There's way too many people being successful in all different aspects. And there's no reason why you can't too. Just before we go on, I want to say hello to a couple people who have taken the time to say hello to us. So Bobby Fowler, you're watching from Beach, North Carolina. That's awesome.
Hello, Bobby.
That's so cool. And then we've got I don't know how to pronounce this, cool stud, watching
Cool.
from
Yeah.
Montreal. I have barely watched one of your videos so far, the one at Winners, and I was wondering how you started FBA. Like, how did I get the knowledge? So when I start something, I first hear about it. I heard about FBA and I'm like, what is this? This sounds interesting to me. I'd like to try it out. So I'll see the buzz around it. And at the time when I heard about FBA, it was like the hottest thing that was out right now online. And I did more research, and just like anyone else, I went on YouTube and I Googled everything. So I watched YouTube videos. I asked people if this is legit. I had some people around me who were doing Amazon FBA, and Amazon FBA in general, there's many things within that, but I was just asking people in general, and I'm not afraid to like message people and ask people like, hey, is this real? Like, are you actually making money on this? So they would let me know, because it was like people that friends of friends and just people that you meet online. And then I tried it out myself, and I failed in the beginning. I failed, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was scanning for the wrong country, which if you're in FBA, that's not a good thing. You don't want to scan for products in the wrong country, because then you don't get, when you go and send it in, you don't get any profits, because you the data was for somewhere else. So I was sending it into Canada, and I was scanning for products in the US, and they didn't, like, some of them matched, but not all of them. So I did lose money on some of them. And I did create a video on a bunch of products that I lost money on. And the thing with starting out with new stuff is you have to be okay with failing. Like, you have to be okay with that.
Like making mistakes.
Yeah. So when the person asked us, like, how do you get started? I asked her a question after that, and I said, what are you, like, why do you think that you're afraid to start? Because clearly she's not starting because something's stopping her. So I said, why do you think that you can't start whatever it is that you want to do? And she's like, failure. And that's like the number one for everybody. And I said, then I asked her, when she said failure, I said, what's wrong with failing? And then she didn't know what to say.
I asked her, what's the worst that can happen? Like, if this doesn't work out, what's the worst that could happen? And ask yourself that question. I mean, if you're starting something that has like a really big monetary investment and that kind of thing, like, obviously there's a lot more on the line, but we're talking about just jumping into starting some sort of online business, or just doing something online
different, just doing something different.
Yeah, and there's so many things that you can do that you don't have to put yourself at that much of a risk. There is sacrifice that needs to be happened. Obviously, there's some things that need to be changed, but like, I know there's entrepreneurs out there that say, oh, just jump, just quit your day job, just go into this, just dive in. That's not like realistic. That's not realistic for me. And that wasn't the case for me. So it's something that, you can start on doing something different with your life to get to that happier state, that better state of you. It just start small. And, if you are even afraid to do that, just ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? And then ask yourself if those efforts are worth it, if the reward is worth this thing that you're afraid of. And if it's something that, if you're feeling really drawn towards doing something different, more often than not, you're going to agree that the reward is just so worth it. And it is. Like, whether we reach our level of success, or, some success means something different to everybody. And whether we reach that or not, it doesn't matter, because we are just every day just showing up. And that's what it takes. Every day showing up, every day making mistakes and learning from them and pivoting and seeing where you can go next.
The faster you are okay with failing, the faster you will succeed. So whenever something goes wrong, with whatever we're doing, we're like, okay, let's move on next. And when, we asked the question, well, what's wrong with failure? And she paused. We started saying things like, are you still going to have a home? You still have food to eat? Like, are you still going to be alive? Are you okay? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so you haven't lost the bare essentials.
Mm-hmm.
You're not at a point where you're about to have something really bad happen. This is like, but for people who are starting something new, it feels like that. And here's the thing, you just got to reframe everything in your mind. And that's how we were able to get out of the tunnel vision that a lot of people have. So they have this tunnel vision of 9 to 5, you go to work Monday to Friday, live for the weekends, hate Sundays, hate Mondays, are excited for Fridays, that type of thing. You need to think about, okay, if you are going to this 9 to 5 job and you absolutely hate it and you dread it, right? And you just keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and you're not doing anything different, how do you expect anything to change? So I said to her this quote, which is one of my favorite quotes, and it's, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So people in the general society will go to their 9 to 5 job day after day after day, but they'll think in their head that they hate it, they hate it, they hate it, they hate it, but then do nothing about it. Well, then nothing's going to happen. Like, you literally have to interject something different in your life to create a different result. And a lot of people don't get that. They think, let me just think this way and keep going, but I hate it, and just keep going. And then they're surprised when nothing happens and like 10 years has gone by.
Yeah, it's all about breaking a habit, right? It's breaking the mold, the routines of doing the same thing that you've always done for a long time. And it's really hard. It's actually scientifically, psychologically difficult to break a habit. It takes a lot of effort. But that's why I always, when I'm talking to people about this particular topic, I always say just do something to start small. Because that small thing, if you stack small little baby steps upon each other, it's going to create the snowball, and you're going to become more involved in it just naturally by doing these little stacks of steps. So what does that baby step look like? Well, like Jewel said, when she was starting that Amazon FBA thing, like one thing that she did was just Googled it and just kind of dived into like watching certain videos or reading posts or asking people about this certain topic. So that's if you already have, something in mind that you want to get into. Just research. Just start by researching it and get more involved in it. And like I said, going to networking, some form of networking groups or meetups in the beginning really helps, because you're automatically around that creative energy of building something. As an entrepreneur, we are artists, we are architects, we build, we create. So you're automatically around that energy when you're going to these networking groups. And ask questions, like ask everyone there, how they got started. And, just try different things. If you're not sure yet what it is that you want to do, you just know that you want the laptop lifestyle, then just dive into different things and start, and just don't be afraid to fail. Just start. I know it's crazy how, like, it sounds really simple, but we really do complicate it in our heads. We overthink things, and it becomes this very difficult and daunting thing to do. But you can do it. I believe in you guys. You can do it.
And even, you know what? Hold on, just a comment here. I always like to refer to the comments. Scott from Burlington, Ontario, thank you so much for tuning in. But even if let's say it's not even about business, but you just like, for me, like it wasn't even about business, losing weight. Okay, losing weight was like a thing for me for a while. And for the last 2 years in my videos, I was having like major problems with, my weight gain and how that happened, and trying to lose it. And for years, I had been trying to lose weight, and I got to a point where I had to think of my quote that I just said. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I had to realize that for myself, because I had been doing the same thing. I had been, going for a walk for 30 minutes and thinking I was going to lose 20 pounds. Or I was eating the exact same things like over and over again, pizza, whatever, things that cause weight gain, and thinking, oh, I'm had one salad, that one lunch, and I'm healthy all of a sudden. So I would go to the gym like once and do like a elliptical workout for 30 minutes and think that I'm going to lose weight. But I realized after years, and this was years of me doing this, thinking that something was going to change, I got to a breaking point like a year and a half ago where I decided I need to make a severe change here because this is not happening. It's not working. And I started to gain like weight where I started to feel really bad, like health wise, where I would carry a bunch of gear up the stairs and I'd be panting. I couldn't breathe properly. I just didn't feel good. I just felt heavy. And I knew that I wasn't healthy because I wasn't working out. Like I wasn't being fit. I wasn't being healthy and stuff. And I knew that for the long term, as a person and for human life, like I'm not going to do well later if I continue this. So I had to get a personal trainer, and I will do another video explaining this whole thing, but I had to get one because I needed to be accountable, because I was not accountable. I realized I was not accountable on my own when it came to working out and fitness. Like business, filming, whatever. Yeah, I don't need someone to mentor me or to be around me all the time. But for fitness, completely different story. I needed help. I did not know what I was doing. And so we got a personal trainer, and since getting a personal trainer, so much has changed. Like the complete 180. I was able to finally lose weight. I've been able to lose like 30 pounds so far. I'm going to be posting like before and after pictures, and you'll see, you don't really see it until you step back and you're like, oh my God, what the hell was happening back then? But yeah, there's been a lot of changes, and I too had to go through the exact same thing. And you think that when you're strong in one area, it transfers over to everything. It does not in my case. I was strong in entrepreneurship and that whole thing, but when it came to my mindset about health, it was like a complete disaster. So I had to recognize that, I needed some help in this area. I needed some, like, to do personal training with Auret actually was very helpful, because I probably wouldn't have started it by myself. So
that was how she got started. And if we're talking about, the journey of weight loss and stuff, was actually telling a friend. And she knew that if she told me, I would be all for it, because I wanted a personal trainer for so long. I remember writing that in my vision board, or in my journals, and having it on my vision board, like when we first got started in business, was I want a personal trainer. I want someone to keep me accountable to working out, because I just feel so good. That energy when you work out just feels amazing. And for me, it spills into everyday life, into my business. Just wanted to recognize Ahmed here. He says, hello, I am from Egypt. My name's Ahmed. I am one of your followers, and I know you from Udemy. I learned a lot from you, and I now have my YouTube channel, and it's now more than 11,000 subscribers.
Wow, that's
amazing.
awesome.
I love hearing that. Thank you so much for letting us know that you're here.
And Wasi from Pakistan.
Hello,
that is so
Wasi.
cool. Thank you so much for watching.
Very cool.
But yeah, it is coming up on 11 a.m. PST here. We actually need to head out to a personal training session. That's why we're in workout gear right now. So we actually need to, we just wanted to create this quick video and just let you guys know of, someone last week was literally asking us, like, how do you get started? How do you get over failure? And we wanted to share the knowledge, exactly what we shared with them. And they went away from that dinner like a completely different person. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Let us know if you have any more comments or questions down below, and we will get to them. Someone's going crazy in the chat right now.
Yeah, having seizures in the chat box right now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.